But David,
Alan.
we are here, and I know I promised something special, and I think I've delivered. I think I've delivered this time. We are in the 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. This, I think, is one of Alfa's best cars. Now, we reviewed this a little while ago. We did the Stelvio Veloce, but we also did the Giulia Sport, which you liked quite a lot. I came and rescued you from Newcastle.
Newcastle, yes, indeed.
I did.
It's a wonderful sedan without having to have huge, aggressive styling. It looks a sedan. It looks like
Exactly
a sedan you
right.
race. You know, and it goes back in history to the GTV 1750.
Oh, that was a beautiful little car. But what this has, that 1750 didn't have, is 375 kilowatts.
Oh, yeah.
300, that's V8 power out of a V6
2.9 litre, 600 newton metres of torque.
Extraordinary.
3.9 seconds, 0 to 100.
I mean, that's a lot in anyone's language, or should I say not very much in anyone's language. It is beautiful on the road,
Yes.
beautiful to look at, and because this is the Quadrifoglio version, say Quadrifoglio.
Quadrifoglio.
He's been practicing that for some little while, let me tell you. It has extra things on it, so not just that super go-quick engine, it's got stuff all over the body.
Nice little touches, isn't it?
The Quadrifoglio, full leaf clover, that's meant to be good luck. And the grille, David, the grille vent, I think looks sensational.
It's not overstated. You know how they're sometimes very aggressive? It's there as a feature, as is this one here. It's not plonked on there because this looks good on any car. This looks right for this car.
But it's a real vent. You can feel the heat coming out of that because you've been giving this a bit of a flog. The wheels,
They get
just
that
beautiful.
sort of almost clover look, don't they?
They do, to match the clover on the top. Now, David, just have a look at how complex that light is. Absolutely, you probably can't see it for all the shine, but I mean, it just looks beautiful.
I like that there's detail hidden within the design rather than in your face.
But what is not so hidden is the parts of the body, skirt and foils and the kit that's gone onto this car. This kit includes the splitter, which as you can see is very, very low to the ground. There's some sensors here, and I think this is the one that's been playing up on me all week. I'll talk more about that in the car.
It's got this racing purpose of channeling air.
And of course, that continues all the way around this incredibly complex setup. The little vent up here channels air over the wheels and in and through over what looks to be a cooler of some description. It is just extraordinary.
The grille has style about it, doesn't it?
It's like you, David. It has a sartorial reputation to live up to. And of course, the offset number plate. The body skirt, David, continues along the side, and that's carbon fibre, and it sticks out quite a bit out of the car. Also to do with airflow, have a look at this. This piece of carbon fibre on the boot. They could have made that out of anything, but they made it out of carbon fibre. But it would be remiss of us, David, remiss, I tell you, if we didn't move lower down on the rear, because this is pretty spectacular. These enormous quad exhausts from that V6 engine, and look at this. I mean, that's racing car type stuff. And the front is even more beautiful than the back. We've covered it pretty thoroughly in the other video, so I'm not going to go over it again, but there's a few things I do want to point out. The Apple CarPlay is wide, which is pretty annoying. But look at this carbon fibre on the centre console. That looks so classy. And the addition here on the drive modes of the all-important race setting. Now you can see up here on the dash, David, that's come up all angry and so forth. I'm not going to leave it in that because that would be suicide. And importantly, you'll notice it's turned the crash protection off. Now this is one of the things that was playing up in the wet. This kept coming on, even in N mode, which was driving me mad. Steering wheel is absolutely delightful, and the stop-start button, I think, is in a perfect position. I'm going to be very, very, very careful. Oh. Well, it's still in race mode, but that... Of course, it's got all the usual stuff. It's got lane control and active cruise control. We demonstrated all those in the other video, so I'll put a link to those down below. Follow the links to get to the other Alfa videos. Even at low speed, this is a delight. Now the wheels are very big and the tyres are very low profile. And the ride on this is firm. It's firm, but it feels compliant, so it's not actually uncomfortable, although we are on a fairly smooth road. And in these leafy streets, this feels quite at home, but I suppose we are in the suburb where $150,000 cars are not that unusual.
But I think this one would make you stand out without being pretentious. You stand out for style.
This is stylish. This is like a beautiful pair of solid gold cufflinks set with diamonds. It's just beautiful to look at, but it's got the pace to match the grace, and it is incredibly graceful. Fuel consumption so far hasn't been too bad. I've been giving it the beans this morning and it was around 13 litres per 100 kilometres when I reset it for a 10 kilometre sprint.
It is rated as a combined 8.1.
And I think that would be fair. The point about most of these relatively high performance cars, I think we can say 3.9 seconds to 100 is high performance.
I would say plenty of performance.
Plenty of performance. And you've got to have the go to go with your fairly loud claim. So this checks that it's very much able to cash. I've got this set in D, but I've got the suspension on soft because on hard, let me turn it back on hard, you can really notice it. And I mean, I realise this is a billiard table of a road, but when we get on the highway in a minute, you'll see what I mean. It really does shake your jubblies. I just had to pull out quickly in front of the traffic there, David.
Purely for
doing it for
logical purposes.
Yes, but because I don't want to be obstropolous. I always feel like this is trying to think of ways to kill me.
The car?
There was a Porsche.
Does it know you that well?
I think it does. I have to stop here because this is a giveaway and I just want to make sure nothing's coming new.
Yes, of course.
Oh, it's only 80. I'm trying to make sure that I do go into the 100 zone when it's 100. You can really feel that visceral feel from the engine. That sounds very impressive in a tunnel, I've got to tell you, David.
It's one that I think I would enjoy on a track day. You know, going around and hearing it roar when it was meant to roar and give you that solid performance. Now we're getting the
Yeah, so this is what I
road
was
with a lot of joins.
This is what I was wanting to demonstrate before. We can feel that this road, with the joints at every metre, this is just a disaster. Did you feel it skip sideways?
It certainly, when it fluffed, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you
And
that
that's-
little...
And we're under the speed limit, and yet the gear changes are just so thuggish. But I want, David, I want that. I want the car to make me feel like I'm alive. You know, I'm paying 150 grand. I want it to make me feel like I paid 150 grand. As always, please hit like, leave a comment, and the little rounder to subscribe.